Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahabushai, Bahasham, Rakahakwadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it off in Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. And that's because the biblical Edomite, or the so-called white man, the wicked whom the earth has been given into the hands of in Job chapter 9, verse 24, is ruling right now. And as we can see, with him ruling this planet, completely contrary to the laws, statutes, and commandments, everything is just out of course, from the relationships between people, environmental decline, the list goes on and on. And if this man was allowed to rule indefinitely, this planet would ultimately become a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Yahweh Bahasham Yahabushai has been shortening the last seconds of these last days for the elect's sake, so that his son Yahabushai can come and save the elect and finally take this wicked man, Esau, out of power. And if you have noticed, days just seem like they're flying by. It feels like it was just January bringing in 2024 the other day, and here we are a couple of months from 2025. But I opened up the video with this verse to preface an article on the People's Voice.tv titled Bates Insider: Digital ID will be embedded under the skin of every child by 2025. And that's the goal of these elites, to get everybody onto this great RESET, the fourth industrial revolution, which is just another name for their NW0, where everybody's going to be in these smart cities using CBDCs or central bank digital currencies, eating synthetic and genetically modified foods, and ultimately having what? That digital ID, which is the RFID/NFC C-hip implant in them, which is the MARKOFTHEBEAST in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 18. And as it said, and except those days should be shortened, no flesh would be saved. Esau Edom is going full speed ahead because, he sees that the days are being shortened and that he doesn't have that much longer to fulfill his great work. The elites of the Edomites, understand the scriptures, just like the elect of the children of Israel understand the scriptures. But this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe or destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, Esau Edom, specifically the elites, such as the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, the days being shortened. The elites see the writing on the wall. They see the nation of Israel waking up and calling back upon their power, Yahweh Bahasham Yahabushai, and they see the prophets out on the highways and byways preaching, as well as putting up video epistles like this online. And they know that whenever that happens, whatever heathen nation that's ruling at the time is about to be taken out of power. And they understand that they're Edomites, and what's going to happen to the Edomites when they're taken out of power. 1,000 years of hardcore bondage and slavery before they're permanently culled from this planet with fire. So this devil is coming down in great wrath to fulfill his great work in that short time. Hence why, as the title of the article said, digital ID will be embedded under the skin of every child by 2025. And, we'll just have to see what takes place in 2025. 2025 could very well be the year that the MOTB is rolled out and mandatorily implemented. we still have to get to 2025 because 2024 has been, deemed by Apostle Tahar the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. But regardless, we know through scriptures that the days are being shortened for the elect's sake. So our salvation is nearer than when we believed, Akim, as it says in Romans chapter 13. So now more than ever, we need to put on the whole armor of faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahabushai and have all 10 toes down, doing whatever we can so that whenever that hour of temptation comes, we've pleased Yahweh Bahashem Yahabushai to put that protective hedge over us to get us through these times we're quickly coming into. But I'm going to play a little bit of the video in this article. I'm going to start it at the 47-second mark. And this is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes. And also, I am not a professional medical physician, and I'm not giving any medical advice. This video is, I'm just reporting the news on it. And all footage in this video, are clips taken from, reputable sources. So let's get it.
Globalist billionaire Bill Gates is demanding world governments to follow the lead of the European Union and India and approve his global digital ID system, which has inbuilt features designed to exclude people from participating in society if they don't comply with the globalist agenda. Gates' plan to punish and exclude people who don't comply with the globalist authoritarian rules can only work if everybody in society is using his global digital ID. That's why he's planning to embed the digital ID under the skin of every child in the world born in 2025.
And this isn't just the brainchild of Gil Bates. And he's just one of the many faces the elites are using to push out that fourth industrial revolution.
To ensure the future global society is 100% compliant with globalist goals. For those who doubt that Gates and the elite would go this far, it's time to wake up, because the plan to microchip every child under the sun with digital ID has already begun. The elites are making their move and rolling out the digital identification phase of this dystopian plan in almost every WF-infiltrated nation. Earlier this year, the Digital ID and Authentication Council of Canada certified its first digital ID verification platform for operation. Following closely behind, the Australian Parliament passed digital ID laws in May this year.
I have to report that the Digital ID Transitional and Consequential Provisions Bill 2023 has been fully considered by the Federation Chamber and has been agreed to without amendment.
Digital ID laws in WF-infiltrated national parliaments is just the start of the plot against humanity. And the Gates Foundation are wasting no time moving on to the second phase. Bill Gates has a history of using Africans as guinea pigs for his most dangerous experiments. And now, he's embedding digital IDs under the skin of Kenyan babies as a pilot program before a global rollout next year.
Now, it even gets worse. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is continuing its global push to support its so-called government-backed digital ID programs, and this time setting its sight on Kenya, where it will advise the government on that country's Maisha Namba digital ID initiative that is currently under development. So, according to a Kenyan news agency, Gates' role is assisting the Kenyan government in its development, and the rollout of Maisha Namba was announced after a recent series of closed-door meetings with Kenyan President William Ruto. According to Biometric Update, Maisha Namba is supposedly expected to address different challenges, such as identifying and authenticating citizens, safeguarding primary registration documents such as birth certificates and national identity cards, and improving the management of the social programs and government operations. The project has been met with skepticism in some parts of the country. Rights groups have also been expressing concern over the possibility of discrimination and the erosion of privacy. But listen, I just told you in a very nice way. Now let me just put it blatantly to you. The program targets the birth of new babies. So once you have your baby, before your baby leaves the hospital, you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body.
Hey, and except those days should be shortened, no flesh would be saved. From the womb to the tomb, Esau wants control of everything about you. This is Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm read verses 4 to 5. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Speaking of these Edomites, as it says in Psalms 58 verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. And who can make that straight which the Most High has made crooked? And as it says also in Hebrews chapter 12 around verse 16, that there's no more profane fornicator than Esau. Esau was created to be the wicked from the start. And he was created to do everything clean contrary to righteousness, to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. He's contrary to the Most High and wants to be like the Most High. Hence why even with babies, he wants to get that, charagma in you as quick as possible. But the just, the elect of the nation of Israel, the nation of Israel consisting of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners who look like these heathens, shall live by his faith, and relying on Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi to get us through these times we're coming into. Isaiah 33 verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Verse 5, also because he transgresseth by wine, and that's talking about his philosophies like democracy, capitalism, socialism, communism, feminism, all the isms, and also bringing about this digital, cashless society, that great reset. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. And look at the MO of this Edomite. He goes to other people's nations and sets up puppets to allow him to, push his philosophies on those people and grape that nation of its resources. And as they were just saying in the People's Voice, from Canada to, Australia, Britain to Kenya, this man is going everywhere to push this digital, system, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. And, that hell, I believe it's that word Sheol, which, let's see. Yeah, it's that word Sheol, which means the grave. So his desire is as the grave. And what? There are constantly people dying. So the grave is never satisfied. So what it's saying is Esau's, appetites for power is never satisfied. He just wants more. Here he is, in control of the planet right now. But what? He wants to put digital IDs into babies just to have you that much more on lock. He's got these cameras and satellites everywhere, and this man wants to read your thoughts as well, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. What does that sound like? A one world order, one world government, currency, religion, you name it. X some of these out.
Think about that, but have a listen to this.
The digital ID, which has been a big problem to us for a very long time, is now on a testing mode for the next 2 months. I have been assured by all the stakeholders, led by the ministries concerned, that by December, we will be able to launch digital ID, where every Kenyan don't have to carry any paper, plastic or otherwise, as an ID, that they should be able to be identified digitally using their iris or their fingerprints, and we can transact without the necessity of people struggling to identify who they are. And the proudest part of it is that we don't have to spend the billions that we have spent on all the other Manenos, as all of you know.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
Kenya is in serious trouble. Now, for you to accept this, that means you're going to be completely surveilled and controlled. Think about it. So they have targeted the new babies, of course, even the ordinary citizens, the grown-ups, the young ones, the teenagers, and even the elderly ones will receive this digital ID. But they will then create a new generation where they'll be completely under this digital ID and they have no choice.
Kenya is in trouble, and so is the rest of the world. Given Bill Gates' laser-like focus on implementing digital ID systems globally, and his advocacy for the widespread use of microchips and GMOs, it's crucial to understand that this globalist megalomaniac is out of control and needs to be reined in. After this quick...
Hey, his desire is as hell and death, and he cannot be satisfied.
Quick break, we expose the fine print in his evil plan, so we can rise up against the globalists and refuse to comply with their agenda. The globalists are trying to make us all poor.
Skip up, he's
and
just
gold
going into an advertisement.
The COVID cartel have not been punished for their crimes, and this is why they've been emboldened to go even further this time. Digital ID is the holy grail for the globalists, who are determined to crack down on any opposition to their globalist agenda, or what they consider dissent. Bill Gates wasn't joking when he said that people who dissent against mandatory digital ID will not be able to participate in society. WEF Young Global leader Justin Trudeau is already holding Canadian citizens hostage, threatening to withhold their own money from them if they refuse to accept the rollout of totalitarian digital ID laws.
Yesterday in Canada, Justin Trudeau met with all of our provincial premiers and basically told them that we will not be able to get funding for our healthcare unless the premiers agree to the digital IDs. I will show all the proof. Now, those of you who think that digital IDs are great, they are not. Let me show you what these digital IDs will actually entail when it comes to control. Here's an overview basically of everything that will be included in the digital IDs. This can be found on the WEF website and also on all of the provincial and government websites. You will have healthcare. You will not be able to access any healthcare without this digital ID. Financial system. You will actually not even be able to carry out bank accounts or carry out anything online regarding financial transactions. Food and sustainability. This says for farmers and consumers. You will not be able to get into stores. You will not be able to even sell anywhere. Once they have this system in place, this is where the digital currency will come in. Travel and mobility. We saw that with the Arrive scam app. Humanitarian responses, which is basically just garbage. It's in case something happens, they will be able to track and find you, including if you don't want anything injected in your body. E-commerce. You will not be able to shop online. Then you have social media platforms. You will literally need this ID in order to get TikTok, Twitter, or Facebook. No more fake accounts.
And you know, the elect, they ain't gonna get that digital ID. So, no access to the internet. What does that mean? These video epistles no longer going up. Hence, the famine of the word.
You have e-government. So if you want your taxes done, any sort of benefits from there, you will need this. Then it gets even scarier. Telecommunications. You will not be able to actually get an internet provider without this digital ID, and they will be able to track you. And then up there you have smart cities, and we all know what those are. Those of you who think I'm lying, here's the federal condition. In order for us to access our money, our tax money, this is basically a hostage situation of our tax money. And what you will see is instigators, government instigators under Twitter, under Justin Trudeau, that basically say we need to push our provincial governments to, get the money so that we can spend it better. No, we don't. We actually need to call our provincial governments right.
So what she's pretty much saying is what? You won't be able to do anything in society. Buying, selling, access medical records, anything except you have that digital ID. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he, that he being the elites, causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, everyone in society, to receive a MARK, that charagma, the C-hip, in their right hand or in their foreheads, And we know good old Elon Musk, the people's champion, is, pushing for Neuralink, that charagma in the forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, get a job, travel abroad, access the internet, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the BEAST, or the number of his name. Hey, current events are finally catching up to biblical prophecy. It should be self-evident at this point that the charagma is not, a Sunday Sabbath, sleeping with white women, Christianity or anything like that. It is becoming ever more evident that it is that C-hip implant. And it's starting to become, more evident that anybody that is teaching otherwise clearly has an agenda. And more than likely, they've been bought and paid for by Esau to lead the people astray. You other camps out there, like IUIC, ISUPK, you're going to have a lot of blood on your hands leading so many people astray. And at the end of the day, it's going to be seen who truly were the prophets of the Most High and who truly weren't. And how it's looking right now, the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has laid his tabernacle at GMS, or Great Millstone.
Right now, today and tomorrow, and every single day until they scrap this digital ID. They cannot pass this without our approval. So I need everybody in Canada to call your provincial governments and literally tell them that this is not going to happen. If we need to privatize, if we need to
And there's nothing you can do to stop this from coming to pass. As it says in Isaiah 55 verse 11, so shall my word be, these prophecies that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please.
I'll get into a different system of healthcare. We need to do that. As for everyone in the United States, you're kind of lucky because your healthcare is privatized. There's also a lot more internet providers, some that will not go along with it because of capitalism. So your money is actually speaking a lot louder in the United States. But Canada, this is coming down the pipeline.
The British people thought they had regained their sovereignty when they voted for Brexit and left the EU. Unfortunately, the British government has been captured by a more powerful supranational world government known as the globalist elite. Just like the EU, Canada and Australia, the UK has announced plans to require all residents in the UK to enrol in Bill Gates' digital ID system if they wish to continue participating in society. The Gates Foundation welcomed the news by pumping $4 million into the Digital Public Infrastructure DPI scheme, which will oversee the practical implantation of mandatory IDs in Britain. According to Professor Richard Werner, who was a former WF Young Global leader before he woke up and declared war on the globalists, the elite have been planning this attack on humanity for decades. And they're now preparing a new crisis to get people to accept the rollout of digital IDs.
They have,
Preparing a new crisis. What? The devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Have literally delayed their agenda because I think it's so important to them. They've been very careful about the timing, and let's wait a little longer, let's wait a little longer, let's have this crisis first, let's have COVID first, soften them up. But they've delayed because the technology was already ready around 2015 to roll out. And what people don't mention is, what do these CBDCs actually look like? At the moment, there's a bit of talk about this being phone-based apps. And yes, that is the initial phase. But what was already ready around 2015 is the ultimate goal. What they really want, apparently, I was told by a central banker, is, CBDCs looks like a small grain of rice that they want to put under your skin, which is my view.
A small grain of rice that they want to put under your skin. Wink, wink.
A violation of human dignity, and they realize there is a hurdle. So to get people to accept this, there will be, why suddenly are the billionaires saying let's have universal basic income? Because the story is going to be, now we've created this vast unemployment and disruption and crises. Well, we need universal basic income. You will get 2,000 euros into your account every month, but of course to run this efficiently we need to use the latest technology, so you need the CBDC chip implant. But how many people will say, okay, fine, £2,000, 2,000 euros, you know.
A surprising, a surprising proportion, shockingly, obviously to me or yourself, but we've seen years ago in Sweden, there has been a substantial small minority take-up of what's currently much larger. It's kind of like a little cylinder in stainless steel, I guess, maybe it's titanium or something, and they are doing it because they just want to. They want to be early adopters of this nonsense. So if anyone's listening and that sounds fanciful or conspiracy theorish, the fact is in Sweden they are taking it up and in other places, and that's not coming out of nowhere. That's not just some local tech firm makes this. You know, it's part of the early adoption kind of tendrils coming out from the mothership. So yeah, interesting times ahead, but now, as you say, Richard, now is the chance for awareness, wider awareness, and the time to start taking action in any way you can.
Exactly.
To understand.
That's it with that video. Back in Habakkuk chapter 2, I'm going to start at verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, which is what the men of the Lord, the prophets, are doing by watching the news and reading the scriptures, and then filtering the news through the scriptures to go out onto the highways and byways, as well as put up video epistles like this to preach, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, preaching these video epistles, that he may run that readeth it. You know, the elect hearing this word and, you know, running, so to speak, to do what? Either go out and prophesy themselves, but ultimately run back to their power, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and do whatever they can to, you know, hope to be saved during the hour of temptation when that MOTB is mandatorily implemented. And people will be faced with being put to death for not taking it, which, back in verse 15, and he, being the elites, had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image of the beast being the financial, political, and military aspects of this system of Esau Edoms we're currently in. Those iron toes mixed with miry clay in Daniel chapter 2. The reincarnated Roman Empire, which is this NATO EU system that the U.S. is at the head of. And a major aspect of the image of the BEAST is that CHIP, that the image of the BEAST should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the BEAST, receive that charagma, should be killed, you know, financially and reputationally killed from society, no longer being able to do anything in it. And then ultimately what? That physical death with those guillotines. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And as we can clearly see, we are coming up quickly on that appointed time where this vision is speaking. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And hey, the days are being shortened for the elect's sake, and it's no longer tarrying. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharala, and Shabbat Shalom.